nose in, hands out, patents for the boardroom. 5 patent points that factor into our investment equation. Exclusivity, validity, IP ownership, freedom to operate, and taxes. I'm EVA Willenegger, a Belgian and European patent attorney and a German lawyer with Montgomery IP. Today at the Royal Opera in Liège, Wallonia. 1. Exclusivity. How well do our patents protect our business against competitors? Countries, claims, and patent portfolio design. Countries. We want to make sure that the technology is protected where our production site is located, where our competitors produce, and where our key markets are located, current and future. Claim. The name of the patent game is the patent claim as defined by the claim elements. Now what happens if we remove, add or modify a claim element? If we remove a claim element, that usually does get us out of the scope of the base patent. If we add a claim element, however, we still are within the scope of the base patent. We then talk of a dependent improvement. What happens if we modify a claim element? Now this actually is depending on whether the modification has been obvious or, in other words, equivalent to the skilled person. If it's an equivalent modification, we are still within the scope of the base patents. We talk of a dependent design around. Third point, patent portfolio design. We'd be surprised to see how much there is a disconnect between the legacy patent portfolio that companies carry around and the active product range. Therefore, it's key to make sure that the patent portfolio actually protects new and inventive, commercially valuable elements and functionalities of the product. And also, and that's important, future versions of the products. And in order to effectively keep the competition at a distance, we also protect the second best solutions, the so-called design arounds. 2. Validity. How would our patents perform if opposed? In 2018, we had more than 4,000 opposition, which is around 3.2% of all opposable patents. 27% of the opposition decisions were actually revocation decisions, so the companies lost their patents. 41% were actually limited, and only 32% of the opposition decisions were maintenance as granted. That means even if we have a good portfolio design, it's important to check the validity of the patents, because likelihood is that we need to limit the patent or it even gets revoked. 3. IP ownership. Who actually owns our patent rights? It's amazing to see how many entitlement proceedings are initiated every year. In 2019, 45 patent grant proceedings were even stayed because national entitlement proceedings had been initiated. It's important to make sure that we have the right systems in place, that the IP ownership rights are transferred from the inventor to the filing entity. And that's not only the IP ownership right, it also includes priority rights. We've seen 10 days ago that MIT has lost one of their key patents because the priority right has not been transferred in time. Good for them, they have other patent portfolios in place. That's the importance of having a patent portfolio strategy. 4. Freedom to operate. What's the risk associated with third-party patents. In 2018, there were over 174,000 patent filings at the European Patent Office. That's why it is important to keep a close eye on the filings and publications of clients, suppliers, and most importantly, competitors. And how to do that? Well, we set up processes and systems. First of all, a watch process where we look into all the new patent publications. Patents are published 18 months from filing. Secondly, a landscaping process prior to engaging major R&D funds. And thirdly, a product clearance prior to commercialization of a finalized product in the countries of interest. 5. Taxes. How may our patents help us further reduce the tax bill? Here in Belgium, we have the innovation income deduction. That means that I can defiscalate the typical royalty rate that is applicable in a certain technology. Let's say my patented product has generated 1 million in sales. The typical royalty rate would be 10%, so I can defiscalate up to 85,000 euros per year in my tax bill. And I can also transfer this advantage to other tax years. And what has that cost me? Well, it's 2,999 euros from filing through grant with Montgomery IP. Let's wrap up. Nose in, hands out, patents for the boardroom. Our 5 points that factor into our investment equation: exclusivity, validity, IP ownership, freedom to operate, and taxes. Contact me for any question. Of course, it's free of charge. I'm EVA Willenegger with Montgomery IP, today at the Royal Opera in Liège, Wallonia.